So now I think I'd better have a crack at dealing with cryptocurrencies. I think that's the first time I've ever uttered that word on the show. Cryptocurrencies. It falls off the tongue nicely, doesn't it? Easier than derivatives or quantitative easing or George W. Bush, which apparently was so difficult to say that we had to reduce it to W. Oh well, cryptocurrencies it is on the menu for today. Referring to Wikipedia, a cryptocurrency is a digital asset designed to work as a medium of exchange using cryptography to secure the transactions and to control the creation of additional units of currency. Cryptocurrencies are a subset of alternative currencies, or specifically of digital currencies. So, let's see. Up 10,000% in 16 months? This really does truly depict our crazy times, doesn't it? Yes, the cryptocurrency Ethereum is what we call a 10-bagger since January, meaning that the value of this particular cryptocurrency has multiplied by 10 in the 4 months since January the 16th. It's actually more than a 10-bagger. At the end of 2015, it was worth 90 cents. As I'm recording this, it's worth $91.30. Those who bought it at the end of 2015 had a 10-bagger on their hands by January the 16th, 2017. Those who bought it at that time also have a 10-bagger on their hands. Those who rode it all the way up over the 16 months have a 100-bagger. For percentage fans, that's a gain of 10,000%. What miracle asset did they get when they bought it? Don't even ask. Just believe in it. It certainly isn't a usable currency for legit purposes, obviously, given this kind of insane instability. But it really doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's going up. By market capitalization, Ethereum is now the second largest cryptocurrency at $8.4 billion. The largest one is Bitcoin, with a market cap of nearly $30 billion. It's the granddaddy of the cryptocurrencies. The value of a single Bitcoin at $1,789 on Sunday is 46% higher than the value of 1 troy ounce of gold. In mid-May 2015, Bitcoin was at $240. Over the 2 years since, it has soared 645%. Number 3 in line in terms of market cap is Ripple, which now trades for 21.5 cents. There's a lot of them. All of them are combined in value at $7.3 billion. It's up from 6 cents at the beginning of February 2017. So in the 11 weeks since it has soared by 3,542%. Or, to use the in vogue terminology, it's a 35-bagger in 11 weeks. This is not some kind of bad joke. This is being played with real money. The fact that it will inflict maximum pain on the latecomers whenever this happens is now perfectly clear. There are over 830 altcoins out there, as the alternatives to Bitcoin are called, with new ones being added constantly. The market cap of all these cryptocurrencies combined, according to the Financial Times, has pierced the $50 billion mark. So this is starting to involve serious money. But there are a couple of issues with this miraculous scenario, according to the Financial Times. Initial coin offerings, or ICOs, are unregulated issuances of crypto coins where investors can raise money in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. An increase in these is fueling the market and drawing attention from lawyers and financial professionals. ICOs are trying to market themselves as an alternative to venture capitalists as a way of raising cash for businesses. Many fear they breach existing securities law. Ajit Tripathi, a director in fintech at PricewaterhouseCoopers, had this to say, quote, "An ICO issues crypto tokens rather than stocks and bonds. But that's irrelevant to the substance of the activity, which is raising capital from the general public. Capital raising activities need to be regulated to protect investors. The issue concerns how sophisticated these investors are. Many of these investors may not be sophisticated." End of quote. But others appear to be highly sophisticated, now that the sums involved have become big enough for them. Quoting the Financial Times, "Observers say many individuals are trading altcoins from corporate IT departments, concentrated in the financial sector and falling under the radar of senior executives. Many are sitting on virtual fortunes, but are unable to liquidate their cash as banks clamp down on measures to avoid money laundering." End of quote. Brian Lord, former Deputy Director for Intelligence and Cyber Operations at the UK's electronic espionage agency GCHQ and now Head of Cyber Practice at security group PGI, told the FT, quote, "Systems are being used here by employees to increase their own individual wealth. In the process, corporate systems are coming into contact with the fringes of the criminal world." End of quote. Big, sophisticated traders, including hedge funds and others, are in this trade, not because it might make some real economic sense, but because these things can be pushed up quickly with enough money involved. If enough new people can be drawn in due to the ballooning hype, the big boys can get out once they figure out how to deal with the bank's concerns about money laundering. For now, the SEC and other regulatory agencies have turned mostly a blind eye, as they usually do. Later, when it's too late, after considerable wealth has been transferred from those getting in late to those getting out in time, the SEC might get interested in it. For now, cryptocurrencies remain relatively small compared to derivatives. Oh, the unintended consequences of trying to regulate that monster. Well, it was clear after my initial foray into cryptocurrencies last week, I hadn't done justice to the entire concept, so we're back with another stab at trying to make head or tail of these things, if thing is the right word. The market capitalization of Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency, has soared 88% in a week, from $8.4 billion to $15.8 billion at the moment. Today, the price of the token jumped 15% to $172.26 as I'm recording this. It has skyrocketed 2,000% from January the 1st, when it was at $8.15, and 25,000% since September 2015, when it was at 68 cents. A veritable miracle of creating wealth out of nothing. Bitcoin, the largest of the cryptocurrencies, is up 7% today after soaring during last weekend. At $2,211.56 at the moment, Bitcoin has a market capitalization of $36 billion, up from $30 billion a week ago. It has doubled since April the 1st and edged up, compared to some of the others, a mere 122% year to date. Every one of the 800 plus cryptocurrencies, other than Bitcoin, from the ones that are already dead to the new ones that showed up out of nowhere, are the altcoins. And there, like with Ethereum, the fun to be had is even greater. Look at Ripple, the third largest. It's already crashing. It had gone from 0.6% on March the 15th to 42 cents on March the 16th, an increase of nearly 7,000% in 2 months. On May the 15th it was at 21.5 cents. By the next day it had doubled to 42 cents. Now at 29 cents it's lost about 30% of its value since its peak, including today's 10% swoon. Its market cap, now at $9.9 billion, has plunged $4 billion in a week. Next largest altcoin is Gnosis, that's Gnosis, which came out of nowhere on May the 1st after its initial coin offering, or ICO, which is like an IPO for stocks but without the legal hoops, disclosures and registration to jump through, at a price of $30 per token. The ICO raised $12.5 million for someone. Since its ICO, the price jumped 663% in 3 weeks to 229. If trading these tokens isn't quite wild enough, you can also trade derivatives of these tokens. For example, according to BitMEX, you might want to trade Gnosis futures. You can even use leverage to put some spice into it. Traders who think that the price of Gnosis will rise will buy the futures contract. Conversely, traders who believe the price will drop will sell the futures contract. All margin is posted in Bitcoin. That means traders can go long or short this contract using only Bitcoin. The Gnosis futures contract feature a leverage of up to 2 times. For example, to buy 10 Bitcoin worth of contracts, you will only require 5 Bitcoin of initial margin. Is this the embodiment of the new way of wealth creation? Anyone creates a cryptocurrency, gets exchanges on board, hypes it, gets other players to pump it in actual currency, and participates in this miracle of a digital number backed by nothing and representing nothing, with no coupon payment and no ownership of anything other than the digital token, hoping fervently to sell it back and forth among each other with the agreement not ever to try to convert it back into real currency, because that would cause it to collapse. I would refer you to Ripple. After these blistering surges of thousands of % in the shortest time, no one is even trying to pretend that these are usable currencies. That notion has totally fallen by the wayside. They're not even called cryptocurrency anymore. They're crypto coins or altcoins or bitcoins or just tokens. Oh well, ladies and gentlemen, I introduced you to a word last week, gave you its dictionary definition, and now it's time to forget all about it. That's the speed in which our society goes today. Makes your head spin, doesn't it? So of these 800 plus schemes, the top 10 alone have now ballooned to a combined market cap of $70 billion. That's a serious amount. Next week it might be 100 billion or 40 billion, whatever the case may be. They've become the favourite playground of some hedge funds that can, with, for them, relatively small amounts of money, drive up the price by thousands of %. But the problem for hedge funds is to get the real currency out of it, the money that they need to distribute to their clients. They'd have to sell their stake for real currency. Then the game is over, because just like their entry causes a huge surge, their exit causes the opposite. The type of event that Ripple might already be experiencing. The funny thing is to listen to all the logical-sounding pseudo-reasons why this surge has happened, ranging from the impending collapse of the fiat currency, such as the dollar, to getting in on the ground floor of the future or something. On a more philosophical basis, these manias make you wonder about the state of the mind of today's so-called investors, including hedge funds, that play these games with increasingly hefty amounts of money. It's symptomatic of something larger. But then people also play the lottery, which someone once called a special tax for those who can't do math. So looking at these cryptocurrencies, I'm not yet predicting that the ultimate doom of mankind is imminent. Maybe close, but wait a while. But it does make me marvel at how much liquidity for so many years has inflated asset prices all around, and to such an extent that the craziness in these cryptocurrencies barely makes, well, a ripple.